Choosing the best Marvel Legends of 2021 was very difficult because, one, it's always going to be very subjective which figures were the best, and two, there were a lot of really good Marvel Legends that were released in 2021, so just narrowing it down to five, ooh, it was difficult, but I've got my five here, and we're gonna have some fun today, guys. Be sure you stick around to the end for the honorable mentions, because there were some figures I thought were really good, but unfortunately, they just didn't make this list. We will be looking at only the standard releases and not the deluxe figures or the Build-A-Figures, because those are way too easy to rate among the best. In addition to only looking at standard release Marvel Legends, we will be heavily favoring comic book based releases, so we're not going to be looking a lot at MCU figures today. So which 5 standard releases rated the 5 best of 2021? Stick around and find out, soulmates. You might want to get yourself a cool drink before you watch this one, put your feet up, relax a little bit. Number 5 is the Omega Sentinel from the Tri-Sentinel / House of X-Wave, and I think this is a figure that went over a lot of people's heads, but the sculpt on this is really outstanding. I couldn't believe how accurate the sculpt was to the comics, and the details aren't just painted on, they're actually sculpted on this figure. It was really a sight to behold, and the joints are pinless on her. Not only that, but she comes with some really cool accessories. She comes with a couple of interchangeable arm cannons, and she has an extra head, so this is really worth the price of admission, I think. I think this is worth checking out. Number 4, Psycho Man. I was really surprised to see that this figure was released in the Fantastic Four line, and I am so glad it was, because this is a perfect representation of the character from the comics. Every detail is down there, every last bar. I love this action figure. I can't speak enough praise of it, and it definitely belonged on this year's list. There really are not a lot of ways to improve on a toy of this caliber, but the only way I could think of to improve Psycho Man would be to include an alternate head. Because Psycho Man, he has a lot of facial expressions just like Lady Deathstrike, and I feel that that might be the one thing holding Psycho Man back from a higher position on this list. An angry face or maybe a maniacal face, I feel, really would have sealed the deal on Psycho Man being absolutely, positively perfect. Number 3 is Ironheart. A lot of people liked Modular Iron Man or Ultron from the Ursa Major wave, but I was really impressed by Ironheart. I thought that this figure was so good. I'm always on the hunt for women action figures that have high quality to them, and this one really stood out to me as being one of the best women action figures I have seen from Hasbro in a long time. She has extremely good articulation. It's not absolutely perfect, but she does have some accessories that really make up for the lack of perfection in the articulation. And I think that all the details on her are perfect. She looks exactly like her comic book counterpart. I really, really love this action figure, and I want to see more women action figures like this from Hasbro. I want to see more women action figures in the line overall. This is one of those figures that I picked up on a whim, and I'm so happy I did because I really cannot stop playing around with her. I love this action figure, and I highly recommend that you guys check this one out if you don't have her already. Number 2 is the Hand Ninja from the Stiltman wave, aka the Into the Spider-Verse wave. And I was so blown away by this figure. I think this is one that really went under the radar for a lot of people. The quality on this figure is outstanding. He comes with a bunch of accessories, his articulation is just wonderful, and the detail on him is awesome. Every detail that you might expect from a Hand Ninja is in the right place. This figure gets top marks for me. I absolutely love it. I really did not expect to look at an army builder, a figure that I know a lot of people are buying up real quickly because they want to build up their army of hand ninjas, and also because he comes with Stiltman's legs, so you can keep making Stiltman taller and taller. If you don't have a hand ninja yet, you should try and seek one out because they're still very affordable, and the quality of this figure is truly remarkable. There's also some figures I think they're selling on Hasbro Pulse, but they're a different color of Hand Ninja. If you want the red one, you gotta go find the Stiltman Wave one. Now before we get to number 1 on our list, Soulmates, we need to look at a few honorable mentions because there were some really good Marvel Legends released this year that did not make the cut today. Unfortunately, but we gotta make a list of 5 and some people just not gonna make it. My first honorable mention is the High Evolutionary. I thought this was a really good looking action figure, and I had a lot of people telling me that it was pretty good. And looking at it, I have to agree. One thing I've really found confusing about this figure, though, is that I'm not sure what version of the High Evolutionary it's supposed to be based on. All the details look really good, just like the She-Hulk that was released this year, which unfortunately did not make this list at all, but I might seek this figure out at some point because I really enjoy it. Second honorable mention is Iceman. I was taken by surprise by this figure. I really did not expect to like him very much, but looking at the sculpt, looking at the quality of him, I thought that Hasbro did a really nice job. What hurt this figure for me was that it really didn't feel like there were enough accessories with Iceman to make it feel like I was getting a good Iceman experience. I feel like maybe some kind of ice effect somewhere would have been appropriate for him. He looks cool, he comes with a couple of extra hands, but I just didn't feel like there was enough there to rate him appropriately. Our third honorable mention is Captain Carter, the only MCU character to appear on this list. I was really blown away by Captain Carter as a character on the series, but also as an action figure. I thought that all the details on this figure were perfect. And what held the figure back for me was that it didn't have enough accessories. A couple of extra hands would have really helped this figure, and then I think I would have included it on the list, but as it is, the figure looks really plain, and when you take the shield out of her hands, it would have been nice to have a couple of fists for her to, fight with, as opposed to having one open hand that looks really awkward when you take the shield out of there. So you kind of have to keep the shield on her at all times. Our second honorable mention is Lady Deathstrike, a figure that I feel very strongly was almost perfect. The body on her was amazing. It was completely new, but I feel that the figure is held back by claws that are too short, and also claws that really don't reflect her comic book origins for the most part. It looks like she got more of a nail job than she has sharp claws that she obtained from the Mojoverse body shop. It was disappointing, and I really wanted more from her. She needed more accessories, she needed an extra screaming head. As it is, she's very bare bones as an action figure, and I feel that they really could have done more with her, just as much as they did for the Red Skull, because Lady Deathstrike is a very important enemy to Wolverine, just as much as the Red Skull is important to Captain America. I think that they needed to put a little bit more time, a little bit more love into her, and she would have been there, but as it is, she's not being rated today. And our last honorable mention for today is Ultron. Ultron is a figure that I really enjoy. I've been waiting for a classic Ultron forever, and he very nearly did make the list because I think that this figure is outstanding. Ultron doesn't come with a lot of accessories. He comes with some extra hands, and he also comes with the energy effect that you see coming out of his mouth in the comics. Still, this is a really good action figure, and he's one that I almost rated, but I decided to give the space to a couple of women action figures instead that I feel deserve to be acknowledged. Really excited about this Ultron figure. It's a very simple figure, but it's one that I think that we've needed for a long time. This one really beats the old Toy Biz one every way you can possibly imagine, man. I remember that Toy Biz Ultron. That Toy Biz Ultron was pretty brutal. Finally, our number 1 Marvel Legend of 2021 is the Red Skull. This figure was the absolute best figure of the year. I couldn't believe how good this figure was when I got it. This is the standard Red Skull action figure. This is the definitive Red Skull action figure. It is a perfect representation of the classic Red Skull. His details are absolutely perfect. They got his jumpsuit down to a T. All the folds are there. The belt is there. The boots look right. They've even got his armband on, and there's a little Hydra logo on it. And if that wasn't enough, his articulation is outstanding too. He can bend every way you need him to. He can look straight up. He can look straight down, which is honestly a hard thing to expect these days from a Marvel Legend with the ball joint they're using, but the Red Skull, he can do it. And he comes with a bunch of different accessories. He comes with a lot of different hands. He comes with a Tesseract cube, and he comes with a gun, and he comes with another head sculpt. You get classic Red Skull, and you also get a modern Red Skull head sculpt. Oh my God, the value of this figure is there. I had to look at this figure for a while to make sure that they weren't reusing anything, because his baggy pants do look a lot like what you see on the Hand Ninja, but no, they're different. And thank God for it, because I love this action figure. You guys gotta check out the Red Skull if you haven't already. He's absolutely the best standard release of 2021. Soulmates, what were your favorite standard releases of 2021? Was your list similar to mine? Was it a lot different from mine? I would love to hear who you thought the best action figures of the year were, but remember, no deluxe figures, no build-a-figures. They gotta be standard releases, guys. If you support what I do, please click subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single video of mine when it comes out. And if you want to hang out with me and my soulmates, I stream live on Twitch Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be back again soon with another best of lists, and until then, with love from me to you, bye-bye.